Is your cat going totally bonkers over a new toy, something that looks so bland and basic it seems to be having quite the euphoric effect on your pet? If your cat is bouncing off the walls, figuratively and perhaps borderline literally, then catnip could be to blame. And while some cats have no reaction at all to catnip, others just can't seem to get enough of this very special high. In this material, we'll talk about what makes catnip so potent and drives some felines wild. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Catnip, well, it's a plant, a perennial herb, and it exists within the mint family, a chemical that is found within this herb in the leaves and the stems, known as nepetalactone, is why some cats simply lose control. Chopped up, cut up, ground up, dried catnip is found in some cat toys as a means to promote a sense of euphoria in felines. Contentment in cats, it acts as a stimulant, a mood enhancer. Catnip can make felines quite excited, to say the least, by manipulating chemicals in the brain. And just right quick, if you'd like to know more about catnip in great detail, I've got a link for you. The fine folks at Wisconsin Horticulture, the University of Wisconsin. Go Badgers. For any of you Wisconsin sports fans, proud students, and graduates, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so I guess that's close enough. I've got a link from the University of Wisconsin Horticulture, and they did a marvelous job, certainly a far better job than I ever could have done. It really lays out everything, no leaf unturned in this case. And at the bottom of the page, there's a great picture. You'll laugh, I promise you. So after this video, head on over to that website. Once again, the link to Wisconsin Horticulture in the description box below. Everything you've ever wanted to know about catnip, the herb itself. Now back on the cat side of life, what's the goal of this intended high? What is supposed to actually happen? Well, catnip can serve as a variety of purposes. It has a variety of purposes. Well, the rather obvious one is to stimulate a cat, make them happy, make them playful. Perhaps get a lazy bones cat, a feline that doesn't enjoy playing, to get them excited and moving about. If the catnip's been placed in a fun toy that can be easily manipulated, then you've really got two things working here. High energy and the desire to engage, the desire to participate. The reaction that a given cat will have to catnip is simply based on sensitivity. The reaction, any reaction, on average, it typically takes several months to develop, roughly half a year to become fully manipulated, let's call it, by the odor of the catnip, if at all. Here again, some cats, felines well into adulthood, have no response to the scent of catnip. For example, if your cat is 3 and doesn't react, it probably never will. Reactions are inherited. It's hereditary, and a cat either has it or they don't. Roughly 50% of felines, well, catnip does nothing at all. If a cat just doesn't have the sensitivity, nothing is going to happen. As for the common reactions for cats that do have a reaction, basically involves any form of hyperactivity, running around, rolling around, jumping, rubbing against the object that contains the catnip. The visuals can look a bit strange because, frankly, it can look like a cat is, well, under the influence, and that's because, yes, that's exactly the case. The high that is caused by catnip can vary, but it typically, at the max end, it goes for about 10 to 15 minutes. Cats are that they're a bit on the lazy side, or felines are easily stressed and anxious. Catnip can be a real aid and serve to put cats in a good place, a good mood, where they can become content and calm within their environment and free from anxiety. Now, I mentioned cat toys, some type of play mouse that's filled with ground up catnip. That's a common presentation. But catnip can be made available in a variety of ways. In addition to the toys, catnips can be presented loose, ground up, for direct consumption, sprinkled on food, dashed in a play area, rubbed on a scratching post, or presented in a spray. Yes, a spray bottle. That could be a option in that you could consider entertaining. Or you could just grow your own plant and pick the leaves right off. It's up to you. If you know your cat responds in a positive way, in a safe way, having a bag of catnip in the home, if used responsibly, could be quite beneficial. Here on the channel, I've talked quite a bit over the years about training, teaching your cat to do something or teaching your cat to stop doing something that you find to be negative and harmful. Reinforcing positive behavior. That's a good piece of bait. There needs to be a good piece of bait at the end of that training rope, the training tunnel. Be prepared to reward your cat for a job well done. And while snack treats, that's always a fine option. A catnip toy, a catnip leaf, what have you, that's always a good option. In addition to a snack treat, using catnip for training purposes, that's always been a useful tool over countless years. And before I send you on your happy catnip way, I have a catnip story, just one. And it happened not too long ago. Cat treats, speaking of snack treats, as a reward, well, the brand I use, the brand my cats love, I noticed a catnip flavored box of treats. It was chicken something other than catnip. So something like that. Bit of the classic with a hint of catnip. I thought, okay, this will be good. Of course, I failed to consider that my cats have never come in contact with catnip before. My pets have never been into toys, anything from the quote unquote store they've never cared too much for. My cats would rather be petted and just run around or play with a cardboard box than play with traditional toys. So no catnip experience had ever been had prior to these snack treats. You can sort of guess where this is going. Long story short, it wasn't long until my hyper cat was even more hyper, and my chill and relaxed cat, well, he was doing Olympic hurdles, meowing and running around. Nothing too crazy, but everything was on 11 out of a 1 to 10 scale. The eyes were wide and the intensity was high. So after a day or two, I thought, that's not going to work. There's catnips in this treats, and they're having a fit. The final result, yeah, I went back to the old faithful. No more catnip for my cat. So, to the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, do you have some catnip stories of your own to share, or is your cat on the outside looking in? Does catnip do nothing at all for your pet? Zero reaction. Both on the yay and the nay. Tell me your cat ownership history with catnip. Comment section is all yours. And once again, the link to the catnip, the detailed ins and outs of what catnip is and is all about, that's in that description box below. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a part of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching. Go easy on that catnip, and I'll talk to you later.